Switch on there. It's on. It's on. So we're continuing with the concepts and principles of dosha, the Ashtanga Hridaya. And we were in the 6th sutra. Today we will go to the 7th sutra, which says, Te vyapino api hrunabhyo atho madhyortho samshraya. This is 7. Te. So we are speaking again about the doshas, right? Te in Sanskrit means they in English. They. 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 They here in this context mean doshas. They, doshas. The doshas, vyapino api. Vyapi. Spread everywhere. So now the question is, they have been speaking about three doshas, vata, pitta, kapha, which is responsible for functioning your body when not imbalanced, and most of the time they tend to get imbalanced and they can destroy your body or disturb your body, was the reference before, right? So now next question is, where are they? Right? Where can you find them? The first question, right? Where can you find te vyapi, vyapina? They are spread everywhere in your body. Where are the doshas? They are everywhere. So these imbalancing substances are there everywhere in your body. So in your heart, in your brain, in your knees, in your, all the vital organs and all the tissues, they are spread. Api, even though. Api means te vyapina api, even though. So even though they are spread everywhere, Hrid Nabhyo. Hrid means, what is Hrid? Heart. And Nabhi is navel, right? So they're speaking about two landmarks, heart and navel. Atho, below. So below heart and navel means below navel, right? Below the navel. Atho means below the navel. In between heart and navel means between heart and navel, right? Urdhva means above heart and navel means above heart, right? So the locations of dosha, below the navel, who is there? Vata is there. Between navel and heart, who is there? Pitta is there. Above heart, who is there? Kapha is there. So we have kind of spoken in detail about this sutra in the previous day. So I don't have to spend much time on it, right? Why it is so, how it is so, Maybe you can give a lecture on this topic when you go back in your country, right? There's so much hello about why Kapha is situated above the heart, why Pitta is situated in between heart and navel, why Vata is below the navel, right? Yeah? So I don't have to again waste my time. Hmm? You remember this, right? Or you feel it like you have heard in past life something regarding this? Do you feel like that? What it is connected to? These locations are connected to in association with what? Digestion. That's good. Digestion and production of doshas in three stages of digestion, right? The first stage of digestion, which dosha is produced, kapha is produced. The second stage, pitta is produced, and last stage, vata is produced. You can also see how physically hmm, the structures and the functions, the upper part of the body, above heart, how when it comes to kapha, it's hmm, brain, human brain or brain looks like what? Butter. When you study medicine, even though you study for Ayurvedic medicine, we also have to do a cadaver dissection, a dead body dissection in the first year. Right? To study human anatomy, we also have to dissect few dead bodies to study anatomy. So you see few brains. Brain looks like not water, butter, butter that you spread on the butter. Yes. Oh, I was wrong. Butter. Any pronunciation? You understand this? Butter. Its consistency. Huh? It's so soft. It looks also like it has almost same color. Actually. Sorry? I have not directly seen it live brain. Yeah, now you the people do open surgeries, right? You open sometimes the cranium and do surgeries now. Now there are sometimes now those surgeries are replaced by a catheter. Like you can go from the femoral artery and slowly look around the artery. You can reach your brain and with the forceps, etc. Now you can do a camera guided surgery without really opening, but in certain conditions you have to still go for an open cranial surgery. Right? So you can. There are people like neurosurgeons, etc., who will directly see a live brain. I have not seen. You can see now, if you want, you can just go to YouTube and search for a open cranial surgery video. You can see it. So somehow, what I'm trying to tell you, how the structures there are like highly kapha, so soft like kapha, earth and water, clay, and a lot of yes, there's a fluid around the brain, right? Cerebrospinal fluid. There's a lot of secretions. So you can see these areas. High areas are like that. Whereas when it comes to the pitta area, there is a hot. The stomach itself is very acidic, acid, and then the liver, pancreas, all these hot enzymes used there. So very fiery area. And if you really look into the anatomy of the abdominal cavity, you can see it's so rich in blood supply. The mesenteric arteries divide like, actually, nabhi, the word for navel, chakra nabhi. Nabhi literally means the center of axles of a wheel. You know, a wheel, if you have a bicycle at home, it has axles. The wheel has axles, right? The steel sticks, they get fixed in the center, right? You understand? There is what do you call it? That axle of all the these sticks from periphery. This is the meaning of the word nabhi. So a point where multiple spikes or multiple what do you call these axles, spokes, yeah, gets fixed is what is nabhi. So how a wheel's axle is kind of a meeting point of so many spokes. In the same way, your navel is the meeting point of so many blood vessels. So many. And especially your large intestine goes like, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid, and many intestinal loops, small intestinal loops. And when you open and see, it will feel like many wheels inside your uh, abdomen, and they are all connected with this mesentery. You can Google and see how does that look like. Such a rich blood supply, and it brings all the calories, the heat, and the energy to digest. So digestion is a highly energy consuming action. So this pitta area is very hot. Right? It's so much of blood pooling there. Then of course a lot of blood pooling into the liver, spleen. Both are two organs of storing blood and recycling blood, etc. And then pancreas. So all these hot organs are there in the pitta area. And below navel, of course, the cavities, spaces, the urinary bladder, the rectum, the uterus, and the pelvic cavity, the cavities, spaces. A lot of movements. Things are getting filtered, moving out, pushing out, busy movements. Vata. So you can see how even anatomically and functionally structures has this tendency. Kapha above, Pitta in the middle, and Vata below, right? And our leg, Mr. Legs, right, are locomotor organs, right? The lower organs of movements. So you get a picture of how things are, right? Okay, that's good for now. So Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, right? But they are spread everywhere. Right? They are spread everywhere. Vata is there everywhere. Without Vata, nothing can happen. Right? We have discussed that when we discussed Vata. Pitta is also there everywhere. Transformation and metabolism. All these things. Thermoregulation. All these things. Without that, no cell can live. And Kapha, secretory, and also nourishing, stabilizing, all these functions. So they are everywhere, but they are predominantly seen in certain locations. Hmm. So what is importance of understanding this now? If you understood this, practically, does it make any difference in your life? When you understand, okay, Kapha is above your heart. Hmm. Practically, okay. When you go to supermarket, how can you use this information? You're hiding there. Oh, you're hiding there. Yes.
As you said the other day, this is about looking to ourselves
Mm.
and looking how we are doing with the agni and the doshas.
Mm-hmm.
So if we notice certain imbalance,
Mm.
we can decide what's good for us at that precise moment.
Mm. So how will you use this to understand imbalance? Very good point. Yes.
Like for example, I don't know, if I'm having a trouble with my uterus
Mm.
and I'm constipated,
Mm.
I know that something going on with the vata,
Mm.
dosha.
Mm. Good. It will not be always only Vata dosha, but it is in the seat of Vata. Very good. Right. So when a person is always having trouble, low back pain, right, uterine problems, urinary bladder problems, constipations, hemorrhoids, right, all these things. So you see, you understand the location of Vata. It is always happening in the location of Vata. It might be because of some other dosha, but you see, this is happening in the seat of Vata. Hmm? So even if it is Kabha or Pitta, which is creating the problem, it is in the house of Vata. So you have to ask permission of Vata, right? You understand? When something you have to do something in the home of somebody else. This is a common rule in India, at least. Right? It is like in Ecuador and other countries. If you have to do in the house of somebody, you take the permission of them, or you can just do it. Or I'm asking a question. It depends.
He gets family.
You do it secretly.
Oh,
You go in the upstairs bathroom.
yeah. So it is. You have to really. And so this is a concept. This is called the sthai dosha, the sthana, the location of the dosha, and agantu dosha. These are advanced discussions. Huh? So we really give respect and attention to the location of a dosha. Hmm? So if vata problems happening in vata area, this is very common. Problem in its own seat is how it is usually happening. But somebody else coming and creating a problem in somebody else's location, still you need to really take care of the dosha in that location. See, even if you have a kapha problem, hmm, let us say you have a uterine fibroid, a myoma. huh, There can be vata type of myomas. Let us assume that this myoma was caused by kapha, hmm, excessive fat accumulation, or whatever, leading to a myoma in the uterus. Hmm. Uterus is in the location of vata, but even though the imbalance was caused by kapha, the person might experience cramps, pain, because the location is vata's location, right? So you will experience a vata symptom most of the time in vata location, even when there is a kapha imbalance, because the tendency there is, uterus, etc., highly spasmodic. Can have spasms, crampings, etc. It's how that organ will react. Hmm. Whereas you have a inflammation in your nose, rhinitis, or let us say you have inflammation in your eyes, conjunctivitis. What is the symptom? Yeah, of course, let's speak about what is the symptom. Watering from the eyes. Lot of watering. Of course, there it will be red eye. Conjunctivitis means the red eye. There will be inflammation. You can see the white of the eye turns red, but the main symptom is a lot of secretions, right? Let it be rhinitis, the inflammation of the nose or eyes or throat. What happens? Lot of secretions happens because the seat is kapha seat. So even if it is inflammatory or pitta, which comes and creates problem there, but the symptom tend to be kapha. So that is the nature of the area. These areas have a lot of mucous membranes, and maybe even if an inflammation happens, a lot of secretions, production of mucus, etc. happens. Right? Let us say in the gallbladder, a gallbladder stone is produced when it is causing an obstruction or irritation. What happens? Yeah, an obstruction. Let us say gallbladder stone obstruct the common bile duct. The bile duct, it takes the bile into the organ, or it irritates your gallbladder wall. What suddenly happens? Yeah, it's a severe burning pain. It's a cholecystitis. A severe burning kind of a pitta kind of acute sharp pain. It's different from a vata colic pain. Right? Because it's a severe burning, like severe inflammation happens. Pancreatitis. The symptom is a highly knifing like a pain. Even gastric ulcerations. Nature of the pain is a burning, like acidity, simple gastritis, right? It's a burning pain. So the nature of the reaction, the symptoms is more fiery, more burning kind of things. This is even if it is caused by some other doshas, the symptoms tend to be pitta-like. So in these locations, so whenever we treat uterus or urinary bladder or rectum or pelvic inflammatory disease, even it is caused by some other dosha, we have to respect and treat whom also vata also, or at least you cannot neglect vata. So that is another thing. But what is important now? What I want to say is something else. So you understand this is the seat of which dosha? Kapha, right? So you should be a bit more careful in oilating and wetting this area, right? I see that people don't have that sense most of the time in Europe, right? I see sometimes people even having a cold or a cough or a flu sometimes walk through rain. They don't understand that this is really going to worsen this, right? Or even if you don't have a cold or cough or no kapha problems, if you expose your head to a wet, damp, cold, windy climate, this can be a cause of kapha imbalance. Hmm? So when you come here, we know that head massage is very relaxing. We know that. Everybody needs it and wants it and likes it, but we don't do it. Don't be angry with us. It is because, especially, this is a kapha geography. This is kapha land. This is called Anupadesha. This is a kapha geography. If you dig, you see 2 feet down, you can see water, groundwater. You dig 2 feet, it is at the sea level. So much of greenery, so much of water. Such a land is called Anupadesha or Kapha Desha. Right? Here, Kapha and so humid. Kapha will like this get imbalanced in this desha, even if the climate is hot. Right? So when we put oil to the head, you're adding oiliness to the seat of kapha, right? So this can imbalance with dosha, kapha dosha, especially if your agni is very weak. If your agni is very weak, if you have ama, a metabolic delay, if your metabolism is slow, if your body fluids are not turning around fast, there is a sluggish, stagnating metabolic pattern in your body, channel obstructions are there, agni is weak, fire is weak. If you put oil to the extreme seat of kapha, this will really imbalance kapha and you will easily catch a cold. Right? So, I said yesterday, it is good that now you understand that every disease is a reaction of the body, is a defensive mechanism of the body. Every disease is trying to help you to protect from something imbalancing in the system. It's good. I'm happy that you understand this. But I also want you to further understand why it is getting imbalanced. Why body is trying to defend. So these informations will help you, right? So if you eat, of course, in a kapha imbalancing climate, ice cream naturally or cold water, right? It will cause what?